Hello everybody, oh my god, my name is Benjamin Bloom, and like this I have just witnessed Ipswich Town 1, Rotherham 0. Ipswich win one of these quote must win games for once, and it was horrible. Ipswich play well for half an hour, they get the goal, they see it out to half time, and then receive an absolute aerial bombardment from Rotherham in the second half, but they survive somehow, heading, scrambling, clearing everything away. They get the win, and it is now back to 7 points the gap, and some hope again arises, and lots of new players to talk about again. So Ipswich line up, a bit of a different system now, more 4-2-3-1 from Lambert. Gherkin in goal, Pennington is at right back, Spence is dropped, Chambers and James Collins makes his debut at centre half. Lots to say about James Collins today. For once, Luke Chambers has got someone next to him more experienced and actually looked like a bit of a weight and a bit of a burden was off him, not having to, be the guy. He was still the guy, but he had a little bit of help from Collins. Elder, league debut for him. Skuse and Chalobah. Skuse back, sitting in front of the midfield. Lancaster off to the right. Keane in the 10 position, not up front. Sears off to the left. Colin Quainer makes his debut as well. And of note, on the bench, Białkowski, Harrison, Bishop, Downs, Enciala, Emir Hughes, and another new guy, Dawkins, on the bench as well. Rotherham 4-1-4-1. We know what to expect from them, but when you see it in the flesh, it's quite something. Rodak in goal, Viner, Raggett, Robertson, Mattock the back four, Ajayi sitting in front, Ford off to the right, Volks the captain, Wiles in centre midfield, Taylor off to the left, and Big Smith kind of in his own postcode up front on his own. First 10 minutes, really ugly stuff. Rotherham very, very compact, real big squeeze from their midfield on Ipswich, and the pattern of the game that is set out in the first 10 minutes is Rotherham sitting back and kind of playing the underdog role. And I wonder if, when Paul Warne looks at this game at the end, I wonder whether he'll actually regret doing that, because when they actually went for it, they had a lot of joy. Viner takes a yellow card, he blocks off Sears on 12. Ipswich noticeably though, from the off, just looking bigger, stronger, more powerful. You stick Quainer, Keane, Pennington, Elder as fullbacks in that team, Skuse as well. It did look a lot more competitive to do all the gnarly, dirty stuff that has probably denied Lambert the wins at Reading and in the home games against Bristol City and Millwall. Remember, they did score 2 goals in both of those games and lose just through not being able to defend crosses. They did defend crosses today. Chalobah, big ball right to left on 18. Keane, great touch out to Skuse. He hits the shot low, it bounces up. Handball shot, no decision there. Really stodgy in the middle, though. It looks like Lambert did have a plan to get round this. A lot of diagonal balls switching from one side to the other. They knew how the stodge was going to be in the centre of the pitch and tried to get Sears and Lancaster one-on-one early with the fullbacks. So it looked like they had planned for Rotherham are bespoke. Nobody else in the league plays like Rotherham, so some planning gone into it. And on 30 minutes, we get the goal, the only goal, and it's a debut league goal on his first start for Will Keane. And he really is instrumental in making it. He picks it up in that 10 position, gets it out of his feet. It's a lovely left foot ball out to Sears. Sears controls it, he's on the left wing, engages his man, goes down the line. We saw him do this for his assist for Edwards away at Swansea. Can cross it with his left foot. He drives it across to Keane. Keane gets a pretty bad touch. It goes away from him, and it's a poor clearance out from the back. It's cleared straight back to Keane, straight at him really. He gets a bit lucky with the bounce. He's in the 6-yard box and he tucks it away. So the game plan did seem to work there. The early ball wide, getting to the sides where there was going to be more space, the most space on the pitch, and a bit of luck, but Keane puts the opening goal in after half hour. But remember, as soon as that goes in, I say this team needs 2 goals. We have seen Ipswich take the lead against Preston, against Reading, against Bristol City, against Millwall, and win none of those games. So we know this team generally, except for the Wigan game, needs 2 goals. Volks fools everyone, not a long throw this time, short throw to Viner, loads it into the box, headed out to Taylor, he volleys over from inside there. Key moment this, we didn't think it at the time, but Sean Raggett gets a bump in the mouth or in the nose. He's playing centre half, and he comes over to get treatment. He's really wincing every time the physio touches him. They try for 2 or 3 minutes and he's going to have to go off. He can't play on. And that was really key because the substitution Warne chooses to make, he's got Richard Wood on the bench, but he's going to put Williams into midfield. They then lose Ajayi as the screen. Volks goes back to play in there, and they lose height, really valuable height, and considering how the second half went, they could have done with Raggett in there. I wonder if he regrets not putting Wood in and just going for a straight swap there. Ford swings a free kick into the box. Ajayi, free header at the back post. He's got free, I think, a bit of shoulder and a bit of head, and that one drifts wide. 43, Lancaster has a corner headed up in the air by Chambers. It's hooked goalwards by Sears. He's kind of backing into his marker, and he misjudges the jump, and Sears spins, volleys, the angle's too tight, and it is wide. Chalobah give away right on half time on the edge of the box. Mattock, first time he drifts that shot wide. A bit of foreshadowing from the second half. Gherkin, poor goal kick, he sells Elder short, big gap behind him. Ford charges into the gap, crosses it. Chalobah gets eyebrows on it, which takes it away from the centre halves behind him, through to Taylor. Touch, really good chance. He's in the box, left foot, volleys it over. Right at the end of stoppage time, Skews is late on Williams and takes a yellow card. So the first half is a mess, but Ipswich are the team playing the football. Rotherham are, sitting back and going to try and pick them off and going to press forward. But there's going to be a big change in the second half. Rotherham's game plan, look, whatever we think of it, they've got the lowest budget in the league. They're doing what they need to, but it is literally any free kick anywhere, any throw-in is going in the box and the game stops. Everyone goes forward. To be fair, we saw Cardiff do it and finish second in the league last year, obviously with better players. So a bit of a tough watch, but it's going to get a lot tougher as we go into the second half. Rotherham come out just a load more intensity and immediately put Ipswich on the back foot. Ford free kick, Volks is near post. He's not one of their big guys. He puts the header well wide. Williams on Lancaster here, no foul given into Smith. He drives from 25 yard. Gherkin not convincing there. Soft hands, spills it out. Pennington clears it. Ipswich, I haven't looked at the stats yet. I've looked at some for the aerials, but I think, and I'm not joking, Ipswich gave away 20 free kicks in this game. Rotherham played for some, but in the main, Ipswich very naive in their tackling, knowing that those free kicks were all going to get lobbed into the box as well. 52, Volks has a shot from a free kick. Gherkin makes the save. Corner to Wiles. He drives in right-footed, nicks off Collins and just right. Now, at this point, I've looked at the clock and there's 55 minutes up, and I'm hoping it's going to be, Rotherham are going to be on top for 10-15 minutes and Ipswich are going to come back into the game. It just doesn't happen. Rotherham really got the bit between their teeth. Gherkin, goal kick again, straight out. Quick throw down the line. Smith gets it, holds it out to Ford. Cross back into Smith. He's on the near post. He's the one you want with the header, and he heads it wide. And we start to see this dreadful pattern of Gherkin taking goal kicks. He's not confident, and Rotherham literally just sitting there winning everything and just siving through the Ipswich midfield, just wave after wave. 62, Rotherham constantly pushing through midfield. Now Mattock feeds Smith, he drives over from 25 yards. So Lambert responds. We were a bit critical that he didn't respond to Steve Morrison in the last home game against Mill. He does respond today. Quainer comes out and Downs comes in. So what you give with one hand, you take away with the other, because now you lose that bit of strength up front. Quainer wasn't amazing today, but there was a physical presence. It didn't bounce off him and come straight back. He did ask questions of the Rotherham defenders, and as soon as he was gone, although you had an extra man in midfield, the ball was coming back twice as fast at that man in extra midfield. Keane is big, but he's not a powerful kind of hold-up guy. So Ipswich match up really 4-1, 4-1. Skuse is now going to screen, and Keane's up front on his own, and Downs drops into the midfield with Chalobah. Sears takes a yellow for kicking the ball away. Yates comes in for Ford. Dawkins comes in for Lancaster. I think Williams went out wide for Rotherham, and Yates comes into centre midfield. They're just going to make the runs right through that area. 76 long throw in from Volks, laid off by Smith. Matic is free, 25 yards out. Weak shot on his favoured left foot there. One Ipswich counter in the entire second half. Here they come. Chalobah puts it through to Sears. Sears is one-on-one. He tries an early reverse ball to find Keane. It would have been a difficult pass, but unfortunately over the past few games, Freddie has always made the wrong choice when he's got into those positions. Obviously, as always, his running and his defending is exemplary, and he's big hand in the goal, but just lacked that decision making there. 84, another long throw back to Volks on the second phase. Low shot by him. Gherkin falls on that. 88, long throw, hurls in and bounces this time, and Gherkin has to make a kind of jumpy, scoopy save. It's literally wave after wave of Rotherham attacks. Ipswich are basically taking goal kicks, lining up and defending every time. No possession for Ipswich. No one could keep the ball. The ball not being held up front since Quainer's off, and Rotherham just absolutely eating up every goal kick that went forward by Gherkin. They tried to negate it by putting it up to Pennington, but then in the end, Pennington was so scared of coming forward and off his position. That said, all the free kicks, all the long balls were headed away, but it's getting a little bit more harem-scarum in the box there, and it just completely becomes an aerial game now. Richard Wood comes on. He's going to play centre-half. Ajayi's now going to have licence to just be in the box virtually for all of stoppage time. Lambert does respond again. Sears out and Ciala in, and it's literally a back five, not wing backs, actually a back five. They're just going to have three tall, well, no, four centre backs in that back five as well, if you count Pennington as well. Lots of tall players to cope with Rotherham's bombardment. They get one more chance. It's the mother of all scrambles in the box, and it is prodded towards goal, and Gherkin makes a point-blank save there. Absolutely vital. Out it goes. One more free kick, cleared out. 5 minutes stoppage time over, and Ipswich see it out and get the win. It was not easy to watch in the slightest. Now, the caveat to all of these comments I'm about to make is that, and I've said it once in the video already, there's only one team in the league that plays quite like Rotherham do. And again, I'm not being patronising. I'm not making a judgment on it. You play how you like. I pay my money and I watch you play how you want. But it was very, very niche football. They seem to try and win a lot of free kicks and throw-ons and get them all into the box. And do you know what? I think Rotherham actually looked better when they tried to break from midfield and break with pace and kind of counter-press all Ipswich's goal kicks. So that was the challenge today. And I think the difference today was, one, size, that you had when long throw-ins were going in. You had Quainer coming back. You had Keane, who is a bigger, may not be an up-front focal point, but, he's another big body in the box. Pennington's a big guy playing right back. Chambers is in there, but James Collins makes a big, big difference just because he looks so calm. There's a real sense of, look, I've done all of this before. Don't panic. We've got this type of mentality for him. So, really, really stodgy game. Ipswich did play well for the first half, definitely the first 30 minutes. They were the ones taking the games. But let's be honest, Rotherham are hard team to play against. Let's look at some of the Ipswich's performance. And I just wrote this down, just particularly on Collins. 17 clearances, and 12 aerial challenges won. So massive stats from Collins in his first game. I'm going to say it again, it won't be like that in any other game. And the Ipswich team, not just Collins, won 45 aerials today. You just won't face that many long balls against any other team. The shot count was incredible, 18-3 to Rotherham, but 2 shots on target to 1 shot on target to Ipswich. So Ipswich 1 shot on target and they get the win. Pennington was fine at right back. It'll be a different challenge in games with more space where he's up against a more passing team and he gets more time on the ball. Chambers and Collins really good for this game. Headed, kicked everything away, and Collins' influence on Chambers was good. There was somebody else to take the burden away from Chambers. Elder, give me a few more games watching him again. It was a hard game. Nice to see Skews back. Needs to probably get up to speed. Chalobah, fine. Lancaster, pretty good. Keane obviously got the goal. Sears did his running. Quainer served the purpose up front. You can't really, though, in a game like this where you've made 45 aerials and a million clearances and defended 43 kicks or whatever it is, you can't really look away from the centre halves, though, for the star performers at the back there, and Pennington squeezing in and helping them out. So, look, the gap has closed. Ipswich do look a different proposition now with some of these players in the team. Emir Hughes back as well. He didn't get on today, but back. Will we see him maybe come on as a sub against Blackburn? Bit of a different game. It's not going to be so up and at them next week. But the squad looks a little bit stronger, but they really were clinging on. And the one thing I'm holding on to is that, again, you're not going to play against a team that play like Rotherham do again this season. That's a one-off challenge, and maybe they can play more their natural game. But if there is any cause for alarm, it's that Ipswich could not keep the ball in the second half. And really, if Rotherham played slightly less lowest common denominator football, they probably would have got the goal. In terms of Rotherham, I'm a fan of what they're doing in the respects of size of club and how competitive they are. The players give everything, the fans, the manager gives everything. It's not that pleasurable to watch everything kind of going forward and into the box, but really you've got to do what you've got to do, and Rotherham have 7 more points than Ipswich, so the proof is in the pudding. There's a lot of people hoping that Rotherham are going to stay up. I cannot look at that objectively being an Ipswich fan, because if Ipswich do pull off the miracle escape, it's going to be Rotherham that they're trying to pull in to that bottom 3. So Rotherham are going to soldier on. They are going to pick up points, and especially at home. Look, they've beaten Ipswich already once this season. So I have praise for Rotherham, but it's kind of faint praise, because they are Ipswich's hope for getting pulled in and adding a 4th team into that battle at the bottom of the table. They're very well organised and they're well managed. I think they've got some quality. Wiles and Volks have got quality in midfield, and it is what it is. They do not play a lot of football. Most of the attacks are quick direct balls into the channel and trying to get it into Smith, and just long throws and long free kicks being lobbed in to the box, and centre halves getting up and around. So it is what it is, and if Rotherham stay up, it will be a brilliant piece of management by Paul Warne. So Ipswich soldier on next week, off to Blackburn. I suspect we're going to see Collins in the team again. I expect Pennington's staying at right back. That's probably going to be the new back 4. We'll see with Hughes, and hopefully these players, Quainer and Keane can now hopefully give us some goals. And maybe with Collins in there, we'll get a few more clean sheets. It was a tough watch. Let me know what you think in the comments. Ipswich fan, optimistic or worried about that second half and how hard work it was? Rotherham fan, can you do it? Can you accumulate enough points with that real tough to play against style? If you're new to the channel, just watching this video for the first time, please hit subscribe. Get involved in the comments, keep it civil. If you want to disagree with me, there's a nice way to do it, and I'm interested in what everybody wants to say. That's absolutely fine. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom, and yeah, please hit that subscribe button. I'm going to go and sit in a dark room for a while. 3 points for Ipswich. It is a good day, and onwards to Blackburn next week.